They shook his head and decided to get his weight off his body. However, he got there. They were both on the couch, with him not sitting on his legs. As he peacefully slept, they thought maybe they would resolve everything between them last night. But he just had dropped the bomb over him and just couldn't temper his anger anymore. They still remember how he looked guilty and how they screamed at him. He didn't say anything. He continued to yell and shout. He just sat there and listened with his arm folded and seems unaffected by their behavior. Of course, everything went over his head and they just wasted his breath. After his yelling period, Jungle lay down on the sofa and closed his eyes as he tried to talk to him. After that, they didn't remember much. Maybe he just got tired of speaking and faded into sleep. But now, he looked at him. The anger and frustration would come back. They didn't understand what he was protecting him for. He didn't answer the last night either. They knew reporters were after him, like tigers after a poor deer. But that didn't mean that they would kill him or even try to harm him. They were just frustrating and they were just doing their jobs. Glaring at his speaking form, they noticed a small detail about him. His lashes were fanning over his cheeks. They were small more under his lips, and lips were full and plump. Lower lips were slightly bigger than the upper one. The hair of his head were long, that it combed, and over his forehead they fell on his eyes. But the side had small hair. What was he even doing? They stopped checking him out and gave him arm a little shake. His biceps were big. When did he work out? They had never seen him running or doing any exercise. But when he told them about his workout routine, he pressed a muscle of his biceps before poking them. They were hard. What did he do to them? And why he never cut his hair? They were trimmed, but they were so long. He could just braid them into a perfect Rapunzel braid and put small flowers in it. His finger gripped his hair as his body leaned forward to reach his height. They fist them in his hand. They were soft, and the hair wash did he use? They were so smooth and silky. Are you trying to take advantage of me? They screamed and fell on the couch, on the floor with a thud. Stop starting me like that, they snapped, getting up from the floor and sat up to the opposite sofa. Jungle smirked and rubbed his eyes. He braced himself on his elbow and rested his head on his hand. What are you doing on top of me? He asked, and didn't think to face him. He could burn with so much intensity. What was he thinking, right? He wasn't even thinking, just taking him out by his hand. There was something in your hair, he shrugged. Yeah, that was a reasonable excuse. Was there something on my arm too? He gave their smile. They wanted the coach to swallow his whole body. He was so stupid sometimes. Shut up, they murmured, looking at his lap. Jungle chuckled and sat straight on the sofa. They found an excuse to change the subject, and was very valid excuse. I want my bodyguard gone today. They shot a look, challenging him to refuse, and apparently he was not afraid of challenges. No, all traces of humor were vanished from his eyes. He was serious about this, but they didn't want people being him shallow all the time. They were a student, and people would give him weird look. He didn't want all the attention to himself. Jungle, you're not cooperating. They rubbed his temple and cried out, No, you're not cooperating. I want your safety, that's all. He groaned out. Then we are the guards now. Are not they supposed to keep me safe? They mocked him. I'm with you right now. Great. What is that supposed to mean? I'm not a child who need to be for someone all the time. I can take care of myself, and reporters are not going to eat me alive. They reasoned. It isn't about the reporters only, he hissed. Have you forget the white car that had been followed? No, I haven't. And it might have been that doesn't mean I need bodyguards. I'm a normal person, not a prince, that people will look out and kidnap me. What could someone possible want me? I don't believe in coincidence. First, that unknown man a few months ago, and then the car. It can't be a coincidence. What was he talking about? What man? And he was just as out of the car. What man? Jungkook, you're not making any sense. They found. They was just frustrated by everything. Have you forget that incident when someone was following you outside the mall? He said, and they forget things so easily. Oh, they murmured. Now he remembered it. He could just say the car incident might be a prank or just his imagination. But he couldn't say the same about that man. He definitely was following him. His life was perfect. Before he got married. After getting married, nothing had been smooth. He wasn't talking about his feeling or relationship with Jungkook. Jungkook had been nothing but nice to him. And now, they were more than just friends. They saw his future with him now. He was having strong feelings for him. But in a way, after every day, something bad happened to him. Either it was an accident or intentional. Was there really someone trying to reach out him, to hurt him? But if they wasn't even the target, what if Jungkook was the target? Because if they was the one anyone wanted it or have started for getting married to Jungkook. He was doing nothing to make feel safe, make him happy, but he never thought about himself. What if he was actual target? Who couldn't it be? Was there even someone? This mixed signal and feelings would make they want to cry out and just hide himself. Sometimes they didn't even want to go to university because he was apparently famous among students. There were people out here who didn't like him for no reason, just because he was married to the imaginary knight in Signing, they let the thought drain and left it his lashes to stare at Jungkook, who was staring back at him. And with another fight, they gave him a tiny smile, almost impossible to see, but he noticed it and being back. Okay, Jungkook nodded and stopped out of his feet. He walked over there and bent down at his level. I promise they won't make you feel odd or out for place. He grabbed the hand in his. How many? They asked nervously. He never liked being around with guards. Only two. They signed in relief and nodded. The week was passed by in blur of both of them. At least Jungkook, for the extremely busy with the office, all the new project that he decided to burden himself with. He hadn't any time to sit and talk with they or anyone else, for the matter. Leaving house at 7 in the morning and coming back at 9 in the evening had been in his routine. He didn't even himself Sunday. But he was barely aware that he had to take out some time for the function ahead. The young wedding was being held tomorrow, and he hadn't talked about it. It was his. He won't even go back because so much was hanging over his head. But he had to take his step for day, grabbing his jacket out for his office. He needed a break. Next day in the evening, his suit was already placed in front of the coach. Thanks heaven, he ordered it last night. After getting ready, Jungkook walked out of the room while buttoning his diamond cuff links. He moved, and the staircase reached Jungkook's rooms. He gently knocked on the door. "Day, are you ready?" he asked, and he heard that rustling of the other side. The door clicked, and then the smiling face of his wife would come in the view. They opened the door fully, and at that time Jungkook knew that he was a lucky man. He unashamedly checked them from head to the toe and couldn't bring himself to look away. The forest green dress, with the slim tied around his waist. Green definitely suits you. He beamed at they, and liked the way their cheeks turned red.